everyone. Welcome to the 227th webinar of our Saturday webinar series hosted by Manage Center for Innovation and Agripreneurship. Myself, Dr. Ahalya. I'm working as a Manage Fellow. So since October 2020, Manage Center for Innovation and Agripreneurship has been at the forefront of agriculture innovation, hosting 226 consecutive weekly webinars that have touched countless entrepreneurs and transformed numerous agricultural ventures. Today marks another milestone in this remarkable journey as a center of excellence in agribusiness incubation operating under the National Institute of Agriculture Extension Management. Managed Center for Innovation and Agripreneurship has redefined the landscape of agriculture entrepreneurship. Our center has been the cradle of innovation for 940 entrepreneurs, nurturing their dreams and transforming them into viable enterprises. We take immense pride in having supported 468 startups across diverse agriculture sectors, each contributing to the transformation of India's agriculture ecosystem. What sets Manage CI apart is our comprehensive approach to entrepreneurship development. We don't incubate ideas, but we cultivate success stories. A comprehensive support system offering expert guidance and specialist training in crucial areas such as agro-processing, post-harvest technologies, value addition, farm mechanization, animal husbandry, fisheries, dairy, commodity trading, supply chain management, and agri consultancy, ensuring that our entrepreneurs are equipped to tackle every challenges in this journey. We are not just business, but we are building futures. Every entrepreneur who walks through our doors carries a dream, and it is our privilege to help transform those dreams into reality. Through expert guidance, specialized training, and unwavering support, we continue to build an ecosystem where agriculture innovation thrives and entrepreneurs flourish. Today's sessions hold special significance as we celebrate the women's contribution to the agri-startup ecosystem. We are in the midst of inspiring series highlighting the remarkable achievement of women entrepreneurs who have carved their niche in the startup sector. We are conducting 25 webinars related to women in agri-startups involving both founders and mentors till April 2025. And our focus today is on discussing about the topic of branding in the agri-startup world. So it is honor to introduce our distinguished speakers for today's session who will share their invaluable insights on how branding works, and their experiences and wisdom will undoubtedly inspire and guide us towards the new possibilities in the startup ecosystem. So without delay, I would like to introduce our first speaker for the today's session. So to introduce our first speaker, let me call my colleague Sonam to introduce our first speaker.
Thank you, Ralia ma'am. Good morning, everyone. My name is Sonam Chandrakar, working as a marriage intern, and it is my honor to introduce Miss Rohini Dodds, is the founder of Studio Red. She is a passionate entrepreneur and brand strategist with over 14 years of experience in building and leading successful brands. As the founder of Studio Red, she had creative, innovative branding solution and marketing strategies that drives tangible business results. With a solid background in account planning, brand solution, and creative communication, she specialized in transforming brand identity, helping business grow, and delivering impactful marketing solution. Previously, as a manager of brand solution and account planning at Wired Valley, she worked closely with clients to deliver tailored strategy that achieved brand growth and operational success. On that short note, I would like to invite Miss Rohini ma'am on over to you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sonam, and thank you, Dr. Ahalya. Can I start my presentation? Should I just start?
Yes, ma'am, you can go ahead.
Wonderful. I'll just share. I hope it's clearly visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So instead of introducing myself in the beginning, because Sonam has already done such a good job of it, I would like to first ask the audience, what will you buy when you see these two packets? Okay. So when we go to buy almonds, we see these two kind of packets. What is it that we would want to purchase? Similarly, if you go to buy rice, you see these two packets. Which one will we purchase? Or we go to buy ghee, all right? And this recently launched brand of Two Brothers is there. And then there is this, one can which has no sticker, no pricing, nothing much written. Which one will we buy? Again, when it comes to milk, which is such an important commodity, when you see these two cans, which one will we buy? So obviously in all these cases, we will buy the one which is branded, which has a promise to it, correct? So if you look at these, I will go for a Kohinoor basmati rice because I know Kohinoor basmati rice. I know there is a promise. I will go for a Tata almonds versus just an open almonds. I will go for a Two Brothers Ashwagandha ghee because it is giving me the promise of, it's cow ghee and it's pure and it's cultured. And I will definitely go for Amul Taza milk rather than an unbranded milk. So the reason why I showed you this is because this is actually the power of branding. Branding is there in our lives every single day. We are influenced by it every minute of the day. It's just that, we're so used to it, we don't understand it. But my, over here to agri startups, I wanted to show that, we are actually influenced by branding every single day and how you should utilize it in your business to move forward. So I'll just give you a quick introduction. I'm Rohini Lodge. I'm the founder of Studio Red, and I have, as an individual, an experience of 20 years in branding and marketing. I started with the Red FM. I was handling marketing there. Then I joined an event management company. Then I joined an ad agency, and eventually, in the year 2010, I started my own agency. Now, when I started my agency, the norm was of big, advertising agencies, very big names, very expensive rates, and of course, amazing work. But what I realized was that there were a lot of startups, a lot of SMEs that required what I call as a functional agency as well. So, what I went on to create was Studio Red, not just something that helps you create a brand, but also someone who's like a partner with you all throughout your journey. So, your journey could be that, okay, you have a product and now you want to go to the market. So, that is also a journey, right? So, there's a lot of hand holding that is required. What should we call the brand? What are other brands called? What is the promise of the brand that we should deliver? What should the logo look like? What should the packaging look like? Should we do a website? If we do a website, what should it say? So that entire journey is where we come into the picture. Also, for brands that are existing, Studio Red becomes an agency where we are constantly doing a lot of promotional work for them. So, how do you put yourself out in the market? How do you constantly resonate with your audience? How do you constantly help create a recall value with your audience? So, that is what Studio Red is all about. And I'm happy to share it's the 15th year for Studio Red this year in 2025. And it's been a wonderful journey. And I'm here to share some of it with you. So, what exactly is branding? Okay, so a lot of times when we ask people what exactly is branding, they say, oh, it's a logo, it's the color palette, it is, the way the logo is written. But that's not what branding is. Branding is all about, you have this gut feeling when you see someone that, okay, this is a nice person, this is a very sharp person, this is a little angry person. So, that is how branding works. It's like an emotion we feel. So, picture this, it's your child's birthday, and your child's friends are coming over, and it's a happy environment. You think of ordering a Domino's, right? Now, why did you think of ordering Domino's? Because somewhere you equate Domino's with happiness and with celebrations. Because that is what Domino's has done over the years. They have constantly told you that we are all about happiness, we are all about celebrations, we are all about family, we are all about sharing. So, whenever something to do with family, celebration, sharing, etc. comes up, you think of Domino's. So, why does branding matter for startups? Today, when you enter a departmental store, you will see packets and packets and bottles and jars, right? And sometimes even I wonder, that what brand are we supposed to buy? But you will see that each brand is unique because there is a promise to each brand. So it is very important, especially for startups, to differentiate themselves in the market because there's so much competition nowadays. The entry barriers are really low now. The Indian economy is booming. So obviously you will see a lot of startups coming into the picture. You will see a lot of people launching their brands. So you must, when you are a startup, ensure that you have a very strong differentiation so that when I go to the market or even if I'm dealing with you, even if it's a B2B brand, I must know why I should buy from you. Now, whenever we talk about branding, you must have heard that, okay, this is a very strong brand, this is a very good brand. So what is it that makes a brand strong? So there are three things: clarity, consistency, and authenticity. Clarity is, I feel, the most important pillar, because we must know what we stand for. Because when we know what we stand for, we are able to relate to the audience that, okay, this is what my brand stands for. So if I'm I'm a rice brand, and I say I stand for the long grain, right? So when someone is looking to make a pulao or a biryani which needs a long grain, they will first think of you, right? So clarity is extremely important. Consistency again is important. Now I have understood who I am. I have understood what is it that, what is my offering to the audience. But it's also important that I consistently talk about it. When I deal with clients, sometimes they say, I'm very bored, it's the same message. But what they don't realize is the audience is not always looking at you. The audience is looking at you in certain excerpts, right? Hence, it is very important as a brand that we give the consistent message every single time. If I keep hammering to my audience, whether it is a press ad, whether it is social media, whether it is my website, whether it is a YouTube video, everywhere if I say that, long grain basmati rice, come to me. Long grain basmati rice, come to me. Then somewhere over the years, I will be able to establish that strength of mine with complete clarity and complete consistency. And of course, I think authenticity, especially nowadays with social media, has become extremely important. The more authentic your brand is, the more authentic stories you can show. Like you'll see, you do scroll through a lot of social media, but you love looking at behind the scenes. You love looking at, what is it, who are the people behind the brand? What is their story? What are they talking about? So authenticity again is a very, very important pillar of a strong brand. Um, Again, I think related to what I was saying earlier, it is it's essential that a person should know why are they buying from you. Like in the same example of long grain basmati rice, they know I'm buying from this brand because I will get authentic long grain quality basmati rice. So it's very important when I'm putting out my message. I must say, why are you buying from me? When I answer the question, why buy from me, I am answering, I'm actually giving a solution to a problem. You see, every product, every service is actually a solution to a problem, right? So when I start talking about the why, I am actually telling the person, this is your problem, I am giving you the solution. Hence, buy from me. And of course, the most important thing is people buy emotions, they don't buy products. Please look around yourself. If you're buying a Cadbury Silk on Valentine's Day, it is because Cadbury Silk has given you that emotion that on Valentine's Day you must gift a Cadbury. If you are purchasing a certain brand of sweets when you're going for a housewarming or you're going to gift someone, it is because that brand has evoked that emotion in you. If you are buying a certain, say a dishwashing bar also, it is because somewhere you've seen an ad and it has evoked an emotion in you and you feel, yes, this emotion matters. Now let's come to one of my recent favorite brands. Okay, so my most favorite brand right now is Blinkit. Now Blinkit, if you look at the logo, it's a very simple logo, but the positioning which the brand has created is India's last minute app. So we already had a Swiggy, Instamart, we had Denzo, etc., etc. But Blinkit comes into the market and says, you know what? We are your last minute app. And if you see the ads also, you can always check out YouTube for their ads. They're always talking about, that how some guests have arrived and suddenly I need to make something. So I order from Blinkit. So they're not saying that you order grocery, you order eggs, you order pans. They're not saying that. They're saying we are a last minute app. So it's a very strong, clear and consistent message that they have created. Right? And now when you look at the brand personality, if you can just see these three images that I have shared, they look the same everywhere. It is the same font, it is the same color, it is the same look and feel. So if you go back to what I had spoken about, clarity, consistency, and authenticity, Blinkit is a classic example. They're extremely clear. We are last minute app. Any last minute needs, talk to us. Consistency, because everywhere they are talking about it, whether it is an ad that they have shown you on YouTube, or it is a social media Instagram ad, or it is a banner at Kumbh Mela, right? So it's all the same. and definitely authenticity, because they're talking about how authentically they can solve your problem. Now, since we were talking about brand personality, I just wanted to quickly share something. As a whatever product I might be offering, there is always a personality to it, right? So, for example, this particular color palette is a trendy color palette. It's got very trendy colors and very fancy colors. This is a very earthy one. So it's got a green, it's got a brown, it's very natural. And if you look at this is a warm palette. Definitely, when it comes to food, a lot of people you will see, they use warm palettes. Like one of the best examples is look at McDonald's. It's red and yellow. Why? Because warm palettes evoke hunger, right? Trendy palettes make you feel like, okay, you are someone very unique. And earthy palettes make you feel very calm, very warm, very natural. So it's very important that we understand what is the personality that I want my audience to understand. And based on that personality, you should choose your colors. Similarly, you should even choose the fonts, whether it is your logo, whether it is your website, your social media. Fonts also play a very important role in branding. Now, if you look at the first one, these are really fancy fonts, right? So when you see a font like this on a very fancy perfume bottle, you would want to pay a very high price for it because it will look like it's a premium brand, right? Whereas if you look at the one on the right, instantly you will know this is a kids brand because it looks like a lot of fun. It looks very playful. So again, when you are working on your own brand, you must know what are the colors I should choose, what are the fonts I should choose, and all this should be based on what is the emotion you want to evoke in your audience. If you want your audience to feel like you're extremely young and trending, use fancy colors. If you want your audience to know that you're a very sustainable brand, you are very friendly, eco-friendly, use natural colors. And if you are doing something to do with food, which must be fast selling, you should do warm colors. Now we'll come to branding for agri startups. Although that's a completely different, chapter in itself, but I just wanted to touch upon a few things which I feel are very important based on my understanding. I think number one, you must talk about sustainability. If you're not able to talk 100% about sustainability, you must talk about the impact that you have on the community. Secondly, you must talk about the human side of agriculture. um, the human side of agriculture makes people feel very connected to your brand. So if you look at, there's this brand called Fool, which is into incense sticks, if any of you know. If you look at their website, you'll see that they show that they collect flowers from temples, and then they have an all-woman army who actually sits and processes it and turns them into incense sticks and cones. So when you will look at Fool's website or a YouTube ad, you feel very connected to the brand. You feel like it's okay, I must purchase this even if it's 1 rupee expensive. So that human connect, I think, is extremely important. And definitely for agri startups, you must use visuals which show a lot of trust, which show a lot of authenticity, which show a lot of nature. I think these are 2, 3 things that really work for agri startups, and you should try it. And these are my 10 branding must-haves for startups. Whether you are into agriculture, whether you're into IT, whether you are into any other product or service, there are 10 things which you must have as a startup. Now, of course, you could go to a small agency and get these done at affordable costs. You could go to a freelancer, you could work on these yourself. But these are 10 branding must-haves from my side. So the first is, of course, a logo. The second is your font style. You must have a consistent font style everywhere. So you can't have a logo which has a very playful font and then suddenly, you have a very luxurious font in your social media. That will confuse your audience. That are you playful? Are you a premium brand? What are you? Right? Similarly, a color palette. Like when I showed you color palettes, I think it's extremely important that you should freeze on a color palette. I'm either an earthy looking brand, or I'm a natural looking brand, or I'm a very, like I showed, trendy looking brand. You have to choose and stick to it. Then, of course, a brand guidelines document. Especially if you're working with an agency or a freelancer, you must ask for a brand guidelines document. This document usually talks about how to use the logo, what kind of fonts to use, what not to do with the logo, because a lot of times, you just use the logo randomly in a black color or in a single color, and that is not in alignment with the brand guidelines. Of course, business stationery design. So, business stationery is extremely important because whenever you meet people, you must try and give them as much of your business cards, etc., that you can. Wear some nice fancy badges. You must have your logo on your bag. These are very small, small things, I feel. But the more people can see your brand, I think the better it is. Packaging again is very important, of course, if it is applicable to you, because packaging is what drives the consumer to buy from you. A website is, of course, again, very, very important. Social media templates. So, if you're working by yourself, especially or with a freelancer, you could develop certain templates which are in alignment with your brand. Again, the same colors, the same fonts, the same look and feel, and you can keep changing the images. Of course, marketing collaterals again are extremely important. You must have a brochure, flyer. Nowadays people think that everything is digital. It's not important, but I am still old school. I feel, a leaflet or a brochure, when you hand it over to someone, if it's well designed, it's well printed, it's talking about your promise, your authenticity, it still has a very strong impact. And of course, a signage in a storefront. So if you do a function out of a shop and if you have brick and mortar setup, it must look like your brand. Your signage should be a certain color. You should have a standee outside. You should have leaflets to distribute. All of these things somewhere make your brand look very cohesive. And people want to do business with people who are professional. People want to do business with people who mean business. So just the way we work on our clothes, the way we look, the car we drive, similarly, these things are very important for your brand. If you have a well thought out brand which has a good promise, which looks very professional, people, assume somewhere in their subconscious that this guy is very, very serious about his business and this guy is good. Let's work with him, right? So I will just end now with certain mistakes which people make. Like I said, try and be consistent everywhere. So don't have something, like a pink color in your social media and a green color in your website and a yellow color in your brochure, because it gets confusing. So, and do not have inconsistent messaging. So you can't talk about sustainability somewhere and talk about something else somewhere. And definitely do not ignore customer perspective. You must talk to customers. I still remember when I was launching a certain brand in one of a kind mall. I went and I sat at the mall for days. I used to just observe that, the people who are coming to the mall, where are they going? What are they doing? What are they buying? How are they thinking? What are they purchasing? And that really gave me a very strong perspective. Of course, you can even talk to customers. Please don't feel shy, create questionnaires, go up to people, talk to people. Trust me, when you talk to your customers, the kind of insights you get is not something you can think of. Because, when we are creating brands as founders, we have our own understanding of what we're trying to do. But when you speak to customers, you get their perspective, and that's really, really helpful. I think I'm running out of time. These are some apps that you can use in case you don't have a budget for a freelancer or an agency. Canva helps you make creatives. Gemini helps you. Gemini Chat GPT you can use for content. CapCut in short is for videos, and you can use nice fonts from dafont.com. And I would like to end by saying that branding is not a cost; it's an investment. Whether you go to a freelancer, whether you do it yourself, whether you come to an agency, a small agency, a big agency, a mid-sized agency, but branding is something you must invest in if you are a startup. It really makes the journey worth it. I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for the wonderful presentation on branding. And you have discussed what exactly is branding and why branding is actually matters and how it is important for the people to differentiate like from others. And also, you also discussed about what are the three pillars of the strong branding and how branding actually work for the agri startups. Thank you so much, ma'am, for the informative presentation. So the participants, if you have any questions, you can keep in chat box and also you can raise your hand. So the questions will be taken up after the second speaker presentation. So without delay, we'll go to the second speaker presentation. Rohini ma'am, kindly be in line also. So we'll take up the questions after the session. So now I want to introduce our second speaker for today's session. So Miss Arushi, she is a startup mentor with over 3,000 startup mentors. She is passionate about helping founders navigating the journey from idea to execution and ultimately growth. Her mission is to provide the guidance and support that will bring vision to life in early stages of business and also for scaling up. She brings expertise in branding and social media strategy, content strategy, and writing and community building, market research and analysis, pitch desk, and also business plan creation. So with this short introduction, I would like to introduce our speaker for today's session, Arushi ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ralia, for a wonderful introduction. So, could you please present my PPT?
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Usha ma'am, I think we are sharing PPT, right?
Yes, I've shared with Usha, I guess.
Yes, they are sharing it, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Usha ma'am or Saurabh, may I know who is sharing? And yeah, okay.
Yes. So, hello guys. Here we are celebrating the Women's Agri-Tech Startups. So, moving straight towards my introduction, could you please move to the second slide? Hi, my name is Arushi Chauhan. I am a startup mentor. So I help founders in their startup and fundraising journey by providing them the right strategies, tools, and insights. Having said that, I have mentored and worked with 3,000 plus of founders. I'm also a pitch deck and business plan expert where I specialized in developing compelling pitch decks, investment collaterals that captures investors' interest. I'm also a market research specialist where I help you to validate your idea, competitive and SWOT analysis. I have completed my MBA in marketing. And so now let's begin the session. So before introducing what branding is, let's dive into what branding isn't. Move to the next slide, please. So what branding isn't. So people have many perceptions about what branding is and often associated it with just a logo, product, tagline, typography, color scheme and design. However, I believe that branding isn't what many people think it is. It's neither just a visuals nor a marketing element. So what branding is actually? What it is exactly? Let's start by understanding its true essence and begin with the originality. What is branding and what is brand? Move to the next slide, please. So does anyone have any idea or know how branding began with this picture? You can comment down on the chat box. So I'll begin with that. So branding has its ancient roots. Initially, it has been used in agriculture economy to mark livestock for ownership. It's an identification mark where a livestock and criminals and slaves, term them that this is their ownership. Do you know what is the name of brander, how it begins, how it came? So it's just a Nordic word, belongs to a Scandinavian countries like Norway, Sweden, Denmark and all. So their branding begins to burn into something. If you have seen even in earlier times, your great grandparents community wasn't that much educated, right? So even in on their hand, you have seen there are tattoos to recognize their family, which is also a form of branding, right? Okay, so what is the oldest example of branding that applies to every person on this planet from the birth? Any idea? The oldest example of branding that applies to every person on this planet of the day they born. It's the religion. From the day you born, our branding has already been done. Right? So moving forward to the next slide, as I stated, branding is not a logo. Move to the next slide. So yeah, a logo is a very essential tool for a business. It serves as a visual symbol or design, that represents your company, product, but it is not what brand is. Some people are talking about, about buying this brand, that brand. They're really talking about like, I'm buying one product or another product. The brand is not a product. Product is just a physical good a company is producing, and branding is not a promise. Yes, people say brand is a promise, a company that makes to its customers. While there is some truth in that, partially true, it's not accurately entirely. A brand often ends up as acting a promise, but it's more than just that. Now, moving forward. Move to the next slide, please. So yes, what is brand? A brand is the result or a perception of a product or a service or a company's in the minds of the consumer. It's a customer guts feeling. What is, what happens in people's head? What do we achieve? What reputation have we created through the products we are putting in, the services we are offering, the messages, the mission and vision um, of the company. What is the our company purpose? Design and packaging of our product. What is the look and feel of the product? How does our company's culture affecting customers, your employees, especially the customer executive, because they are in a direct contact with your customers. Everything, every activity in your business counts to build a reputation and is to build a brand. Now moving forward with the another slide, like, what comes to your mind when you hear about the product from Amul or Patanjali? Anyone? Okay, so no matter which Amul product you are going to purchase, be it a milk, butter, chocolate, cheese, ice creams, anything you do. So because you are familiar with the taste, with the different taste. So you do know that when I'm consuming this product of the Amul, automatically it comes in the people's mind that yes, the another product, suppose the ice cream, you have tasted the ice cream, you have just consuming the milk on everyday basis, on a daily basis. The another product, if you are consuming the cheese or the cakes, whatever it is, you have the mentality, yes, the taste would be good, the quality would be impeccable, right? Also, this brand holds a certain strong trust in the people's mind that you immediately going to buy it. Now moving forward for the another brand, Patanjali. What Patanjali states, it's a natural, healthy and Ayurvedic. All the products that they are manufacturing, or the people mindset are is like, yes, all the products are based on their health, are natural, are Ayurvedic, right? So now moving forward, what branding is actually. So branding, as I stated, it's not a logo, it's not a product, it's not a promise. It is all the activities we do in our business, everything to build a brand. A process from the beginning of creating a distinct identity for a business in the minds of your target audience and the general population. It's based on the, a business perspective, a customer perspective, where you can showcase them what is your brand is actually, and how you can differentiate among your competitors, right? This is what is branding is, from beginning, from your name, everything, right? Now moving forward, next slide please. Brand from a business perspective. So a brand is a combination or is a name, term, sign, a symbol or design that intended to identify the goods and services that you are producing, or from one seller to the another group of seller, and to differentiate themselves from those of the competitions. So these different components of a brand that identify and differentiate are called a brand elements. So over here I've attached one example of Godrej Agrovet. Brighter farming is the tagline. I hope you have gone through with the products. So the products itself mention about the design, everything, their unique name, symbol, everything is called brand elements that promotes a branding. Moving forward to the another examples, to the another slide. Yeah, so the agri startups or any startup requires these brand elements to perform their branding activities, which is really essential from the day one. From the day one, you know that to start a business, you need your brand name. Brand name should be unique, different, and the domain cannot be similar to any other startups or product in the market. So how you will be, going to differentiate if your brand name is not unique, right? For an example, take an example of AgroStar, FarmCard, both are agri-tech startups. Other than that, you can take an example of McDonald's. Before deciding your domain name, you can check online. You can check online on the sites like GoDaddy, and if the name is available or not. Suppose if the Tata has been, a conglomerate company, if you are going to name your product as Tata SLG or whatever, so no one will be going to differentiate, right? So obviously your brand name should be unique. Your brand logo should be also unique and responsive, and also registered over there in a McDonald's. Under down the M, you have seen the mark R. What R termed as? Anyone? So R is for a registered, and I hope you have seen TM also in certain blank logos. So it is a trademark. It represents as a trademark. So there are a lot of evolution that we have seen in the logos itself. I hope you guys have seen the everyone had a pizza, So I hope you guys have seen the logo of Domino's. Yes, they have three dots in their logos. Yeah, so moving forward, they have three dots. So they have what the Tom Monaghan, the founder of the Domino's, thought. So in 1965, they have 3 stores. So they have launched 3 stores, and they decided to add more dots whenever they launched the another firm, right? Another firm. But as they expand tremendously, and isn't just a nice inspiration where you can visualize in your logo itself that you are growing. But currently today, Domino's has 20,000, more than 20,591, I have read about it, Domino's stores worldwide. Could you imagine what the logo would be like if they put 20,000, right? So they have to drop their plan. However, they have done a creativity in their font size, logos, colors, typography, right? Similarly, you have read about a recent example of Zomato. So yesterday we have read about the news. Zomato rebrand itself as a Eternal, right? So which simply means, over here I'm emphasizing on the tagline, Eternals means something that will never end. And Dipinder Goyal, the founder of the Zomato, have the same mission, same vision. He wants the company to keep evolving, keep growing, and trying new things, right? So hence the name justified is called Eternal. But yes, Zomato brand name remains Zomato, Blinkit names Blinkit, similarly Hyperpure and District. So Eternal will be their parent company. Now moving forward with the typography. Typography is the font and font style, font size, and the visual about of your brand logo. And yes, the symbol should be memorable, meaningful, likable, and protectable. Everything, the symbol of your logo should depict what your business is justifying. Now your product packaging, everything counts. Your product slogan or tagline, everything depicts about your business. Suppose in Agri-Star, if Agri-Star has a tagline helping farmers win, right? So over here we can visualize, we can interpret that yes, Agri-Star is helping farmers in a multiple ways. And agro, the names justify that it's related to the agriculture. Recently we have the elections, and so over here you have seen the logos of Lotus, of Aap Janta Party and everything, right? So we can visualize that this is the logo of our parties. And I hope you have seen of the logo of Bata. So they keep it simple. They want to make their brand personally. They don't go with what we can say, any symbol. Now colors also hold a main significant thing while designing the logos, right? Colors depicts, there is a color psychology, color brand psychology. So in basically you have seen, when you are developing a eco-friendly product, so eco-friendly product may, what we can showcase, like green color would be there. If you are going for the service startups, right? So blue color that replicates trust, you know. So these are some key areas when you are deciding, when you are building up your brand from beginning of your startup. You have to make sure that these things would be aligned, so that it will make a good reputation, good trust, prominence in your customers mindset. Now moving forward to the another slide. Please. Yes. So as we are celebrating our women's mentors over our agri startups, so I have written down like what are the roles of agri tech women mentors, be it in agri-tech startups, in any startup. So women mentors are a game changers. They not only provide a strategic branding insights, but also bring empathy, sustainability, focus that helps your startups, your agri startups grow and thrive. By guiding startups on branding, digital transformation, networking, they create and support you in your startups in agri-tech style. Like I did, I support my founders in their fundraising and startup journey by analyzing their entire business. What are their problems, how they are addressing to their problems, what marketing strategies they can dive into to build their, either their personal brand, either their brand, right? What will be the journey that leads to their success. So women entrepreneurs or women mentors inspire and empower also the next generation of the fellow entrepreneurs. I am not going to say the female entrepreneurs because it annoys me, and I'm surely for the female entrepreneurs over here, tagging themselves as a female surely bugs them also. So moving forward, so their mentorship fosters inclusivity, impact driven marketing, and community, and in community engagement, which are really essential for their long term profitability, scalability, and their growth. Now moving forward to the another slide. So I hope you have heard about this woman has been seen in the Shark Tank, Farm Didi. I guess you guys have hoped about it. So her name is Manjari Sharma. So he's a highly motivated farmer management consultant. Also, I am Calcutta graduate alumni. So the company Farm Didi has been headquartered and in Pune. The entire aim of Farm Didi is to provide 100% natural, healthy, homemade, and preservative-free food to the consumers by empowering million rural women. And over here in that image, I have attached a logo, Farm Didi, food that makes you feel loved. Anyone guesses what the brand depicts? With the logo itself, it depicts authenticity. The strong tagline, that food that makes you feel loved. Relatable logo. Relatable logo how? Because they have, picturized one, a mother figure, a didi kind of a figure. And also, if you've seen the burning, our dadis used to store the achars and everything in that burning, right? This is like a white base over there and yellow base on the upper side. So this is kind of a relatable thing. And also the main thing, that empowering 1 million rural women. So in the consumer mindset, even if I see, even any investor will see, so there are, startups in a social cause, and startups that helping women. So also the mindset would be that this company is doing a great initiative, that this product is really, we need to promote it. So this mindset has been formed in the customer mindset, right? So now moving forward, what are the branding strategies that any agritech can solve? Could you move to the next slide? Next slide, please. Yeah. No, previous slide, sorry. So branding strategies for agritech startups. Firstly, you need to define your unique value proposition. It should be clearly communicate what make your startups different. A clear, concise message is a best friend of everything, be it from the investors, be it a customers. As today's attention span of time has been reduced, people, because of the short form content, people consuming like 30 seconds and everything. So in a direct, simple way that you can, picturize, that you can distribute what is your messages, simple, direct, and impactful language. uh, Taking the similar example of Agri-Startup, so their tagline is helping farmers win. How they are helping farmers? By going digitally, grow better, sell globally. So this is a very strong message that any startup can give. Like you can give revolutionizing or transforming the agri-tech, the farming industries, by introducing pest controls and anything like that. The strong visual identity, yes, again comes the logos and the colors. So as I said, there is a branding psychology of the colors. What blue color depicts, green color depicts, yellow color depicts warmth, blue color is more devoted to the services industry, green color is eco-friendly, sustainable. So majorly in agri-tech startups, you have seen the logos are designed in the green or red color, which showcase the bold thing, right? Storyline is really important. Storyline, so without storyline, even if you have seen in movies, without a storyline from the starting to the end, they can't get the interest of the customers, right? So the brand journey, mission, vision has been designed in a such a way that it depicts the storyline of entire of your business. And also you can engage with the communities, farmer networks through multiple channels. Now even the moving to the next slide. Now even I have seen that people are leveraging these social media and digital marketing tools, and for the agri-tech startups especially, so there are many target audience. You can differentiate, like for Insta, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, the target audience differs. So if I go with the target audience of Insta, mainly, yeah, you can see the farmer sons, farmers, sustainability enthusiasts, or agriculture students, young agripreneurs would be there. In the Facebook, on the other hand, also local farmers, but the older demographic are using the Facebook. Like people like us might be, choosing Insta over the Facebook. Now moving forward for YouTube, YouTube is also has been used by farmers, agri students, industry experts, and tech savvy individuals. But for the LinkedIn itself, LinkedIn can't be used by the farmers essentially. I'm not saying they are not using. Many people are educating, many farmers are educating right now. So LinkedIn has been properly designed for job seeking platform, but it's not now a job seeking platform For now, it's like basically building up your personal brand, building up your content, building, a content creation platform again. So investors, B2B partners, policymakers, professionals, anything you can have on your LinkedIn. So you should develop your strategies according to the algorithms and the trends of, all the social media channels that boost your brand authenticity, scalability, and again, the growth. So for the Instagram, that today in the Instagram, reels are more populating. If you are just attaching a picture, it's not going to happen. There are many Insta channels in the agriculture also. I have seen they is a brand, but their Insta channel is impeccable, is impressive, right? So they are educating and making their target audience aware of how they are, by giving some BTS behind the scenes, by educating how the products has been utilized, what the impact they have made. So there are multiple things. You can also go to the influencer by doing the influencer marketing. So there are multiple influencer in the agri-tech or agriculture business line or industries, where they are, taking all the brands under their umbrella and just stating what the brand is doing. So this is how you can connect with your target audience. You can also do the partnerships and collaborations with NGOs, government initiatives, and, as I said, influencers. So over here, I have attached the example of farm tech. You can also visit it for better networking, which and also justifies about your product, showcase your product if it is agri-tech. So it is a very good chance, very rightful chance to mention about your product at these kinds of a networking events. Now moving forward to the other slides. I guess. Yeah, thank you so much. So this is all I have to say about the branding. You can reach out to me on my Insta and LinkedIn, and over here I can help founders to succeed. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. That's a very informative presentation. You have discussed what exactly the branding is from customer and business perspective, and also what are the branding elements, and also you talked about role of women mentors in agri startups, and you have shared the what are the business strategies for agri startups. This is definitely going to be helpful for all the participants. So the participants, if you have any questions, you can keep in chat box, and also you can raise your hand, so the questions will be taken up now. And I hope Rohini ma'am is also available. Yeah.
Yes, I'm right here.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. So without delay, we'll be taking up few questions now. Yeah. Nitish Kumar has raised the hand. So my team, kindly help me in unmuting Nitish Kumar so that I can talk with the speakers. Nitish Kumar, are you there? Nitish Kumar.
Santosh
Morning.
Kumar. Yeah,
Yes. Yeah, go ahead.
Santosh Kumar from Samratsi Pharma Products Company. Ma'am, I have sent
Okay.
you the link for my branding. It is very initiative session for branding and for marketing. I'm very thankful for it. Can you check my link? And I have also sent the digital catalog in there. Um, please suggest me about it.
Yeah.
That is
I
Rishi
can't
Arogya.
see it.
Actually, we are not seeing anything in the chat box.
Where
Some
is the chat?
may I know your name actually?
I have sent. Again, I will send it.
Yeah, no problem.
Sure.
Also, Dr. Alia, I saw an exchange
Please,
of messages here.
I have sent again my
Yes.
digital catalog. Please suggest me. What can I change in it?
Yeah, Santosh Kumar, yeah, they'll be suggest you, and it's better if you directly send them through mail. I think they can guide you through that because we have only 5 minutes, right?
Yes, sure.
So yeah, you can actually, we have sent that speaker details in the chat box, right? And you also have that Instagram and LinkedIn profiles and their mail. So you can send them there personally. They'll help you for that. So and Nitish Kumar is asking how to reach the rural customer easily with the help of branding.
Arushi, would you like to go?
Hello.
Ma'am, you can say the null.
Yeah.
Um,
We are going to the
Santosh Kumar, do you want to ask? Are you asking any questions? Yeah.
am I supposed to answer it?
Yes, you can go ahead.
So, again, there's a large factor depending on the budgets that you have and what kind of product you are doing. But I just wanted to apprise you. Of course, you have banners, you have leaflets, you have wall paintings in rural areas. You can even use railway branding. You can do local cable TV, etc. All of that is always there. But one of the most upcoming things is regional content, right? So there is because of geo, etc. Nowadays, there's amazing penetration of the mobile phone everywhere in every rural area. So you might want to look at, organizations and agencies who are into distribution of regional content. So for example, instead of just doing ads, if you can create a series which is, talking about the awareness of a certain product and the importance. One of the things you must look up is Lifebuoy campaigns that they have done in rural areas. Lifebuoy, the soap. So Lifebuoy had taken a pledge of reaching, I think, 2 crore or 20 lakh people. I'm sorry, I forget the number. That in X number of years, they will reach X number of people. And if you look at all the Lifebuoy campaigns, they're all done based on the rural areas. So, for example, they wanted to raise awareness about hand washing because when you wash hands, you have lesser germs. So, when you're eating, you take in lesser germs. So, they actually have shown you case studies of how mortality rates for children reduced in the villages where they did campaigns. So you might want to do something like that. And otherwise, even if you just do digital content ads in regional languages, it is doing very well in rural areas now.
Yeah,
Thank you.
adding to the Rohini's ma'am points. So Lifebuoy has done a impeccable campaign in the Kumbh Mela itself. If you
Yes.
have seen in the Kumbh Mela, there has been a roti. In the roti, in the chapati, they have imprinted it that Lifebuoy se haath dhoya kya, right? So in Kumbh Mela, there is a 250 million of populations and every people. So this is a very impeccable, very extraordinary campaign they have done for for itself for the Lifebuoy also, and answering to the Nitesh questions for the rural customers. So yes, you can do a market research by addressing their lifestyles, their pain points, and as ma'am said that yes, you can reach out to their regional contents, like say yes, you can do a series on the Instagram. So because Instagram, YouTube are very much popular in the rural sectors also, so you can create a series about describing about your product, their pain points, how they can resolve it, how the similar product, the brand resolve their minute, and maybe these are the minute and small problems for us but not for them, right? So for them you can also showcase by developing a regional and a video content on social media platforms.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Nitish Kumar, I hope you got the answer. Santosh, but yeah, we have received your link. So you can also mail to the speakers. I think they are going to talk about that later. So meanwhile, my managing intern Sonam, I think she has some questions. Sonam, you can go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. So my question is, what are the emerging trend in branding that startups should pay attention in 2025?
I think one of the most important things, and someone has also posted a question for Gen Z, that how do you stay relevant? So I think one of the most important trends is to stay relevant, right, to your audience, because who your audience is. For example, even if your audience is a millennial versus a Gen Z, there is a very big difference in the value system, right? So of course, short video forms are the norm now. the more video content you create, the more authentic your video is, the more you're showing actual stories, people get extremely moved. That is my understanding of what works. And I think it's very important to understand what is the value system of your audience. So, if you are talking to people who are above 35, they have a very different value system. If you're talking to people who are 18 to 20 years or 18 to 24, they have a very different value system. So it's very important to resonate with that.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Yeah,
Okay.
Arish ma'am, do you want to add anything to this?
Yes, like Gen Z values honesty, right? And they are very much active in the social media. So be consistent in your social media, Instagram, LinkedIn, right? YouTube. And considering about the honesty, they prefer brands that aligns with their ethics, their moral value. After the COVID happens, people are really mindful what are they consuming, what are they wearing even. That's why the sustainable fashion has been booming right now, right? So these things values a lot Gen Z people. So the more you be consistent on the social media, be authentic and transparent, engage through storyline, engage with a limited a short form content, as the attention span is lower day by day. So these are the some factors that you can focus more upon.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
I'd
Thank
thank you,
also
ma'am.
like to add one small thing. I think community building is something which is very big nowadays. So, if you will see some of the most successful brands, they have these very strong digital communities that are actually. So, what happens is the consumer then becomes your brand ambassador, right? So, again, similarly to what Arushi said, so Gen Z wants honesty. So, Gen Z is not someone who will just see something and say yes. That yes, if you are saying that this is what it is. Gen Z wants a lot of transparency. Gen Z wants to see who's behind the scenes. They want to look at the lifestyle of the founders. They want to see authenticity. They want those stories. So, and Gen Z is quite opinionated. So, Gen Z is not like, you tell them, okay, you know what, I'm an authentic brand, and they'll be like, yeah, you're an authentic brand. No, it does not work like that. They want to see proof that you're authentic. So, storytelling, community building, these are some trends which are very important considering social media.
Even I
Yes,
suggest my founders also to build two profiles, one for their if suppose in the Insta, so one for their personal branding, because people nowadays people trust more on the people itself, no, for the face of the brand rather than the product.
Absolutely. Very well said, Arushi.
yes,
Yeah,
ma'am. Yes,
thank
ma'am.
you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
yes, I think
I
it's
have
all.
one point to raise, please. There's someone who in the chat said that how much does it cost for branding, and someone said it costs a lot. It does not cost a lot. I just showed you several apps where you can do your own branding with the kind of information and the kind of knowledge that Arushi and me have shared. And you can always reach out to us. Yes, so someone has asked branding actual cost. I think Ajita Kumari and Chirag has replied a lot of money, dear. No, it does not cost a lot of money. So, as if you even look at the 10 branding must-haves that I have given you, that doesn't cost a lot. Based on your budget, you could, go to an agency, you could go to a freelancer, and you could even do it yourself. Today, Canva is like, it's magic in your finger, at your fingertips. So you can just utilize that and create whatever needs to be done. And there's a lot of knowledge out there. There's a lot of, watch YouTube, see what others are doing. You'll get a lot of information.
Even for the logos itself, there are multiple websites and apps would be there, name clicker, name logo by design. So multiple things you can develop your logo with tagline, and Canva is a pro also.
Yeah. So use Chat GPT, talk to Chat GPT, explain to Chat GPT that this is my product and I want to showcase it as a very authentic brand. And I'm looking for a logo. Suggest me a visual idea for the logo. Then whatever visual idea it gives you, go to Canva and try and create that visual idea for yourself. So it's actually very simple. If you utilize AI, you can do things yourself. Of course, when you go through a professional agency, things are done in a more seamless fashion and a lot of points are covered. For example, you should ideally get your brand, your logo, etc. registered. You should check for domain names. You should when we create a name from scratch, we do all our relevant checks, and we kind of because we have experience, we look at things from a long term point of view, which you might not be able to do because it's not your expertise, but it definitely does not cost a lot, not at all.
That's great. That's great. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. So I think it's at 12 o'clock. Yeah, still, I think I can see the questions, but still, I need to end the session. So thank you, participants, for all your questions. So since we are short of time, also I cannot able to take all your questions. I'm so sorry. But still, if you have any questions, and you can contact the speakers, the speaker details are given in the chat box. And also, if you miss something interesting regarding the today's webinars, and if you want to rewatch this webinar, the YouTube link for the webinar is given in the chat box. You can go and watch it. And to receive interesting update and the programs conducted by Manage that is happening, so stay tuned to our social media handles and do not forget to follow us on social media. And I want to share something important update from Manage here, that we are offering a unique 22 days free incubation mentoring program, especially designed to guide you through the early stage of entrepreneurial journey. So we will guide you on idea generation, in-depth knowledge of startup ecosystem and product development and fundraising. So last date for application is the 28th February. So the agri startups are aspiring entrepreneurs, students, and also professionals in the agri sectors, whoever, you can go and apply for it. And so before concluding the session, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the both speakers, Rohini ma'am and Arushi ma'am, for sharing your valuable insights on branding. And also thank you so much for patiently answering all the questions. And also I want to thank all the participants for your active engagement and also thought-provoking questions. And also I would like to thank my director, Dr. Sarunandra sir, and whose ideas and support have made this 227 webinar possible. And also my team and interns for organizing this webinar successfully. And do not forget to give the feedback of this webinar. The link is shared in the group, and also do not forget to register for the upcoming webinar. And see you next week with another exciting topic. Oh, thank you, Rohini ma'am and Arushi ma'am.
Thank
It's
you.
nice to have you here. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Yeah.